Diaphragms, like you said, movement is the key. Children hear music, and what we want is we want them to express through their body movement. So Dalcroze was a Swiss musician, he was a composer, he was a professor at the Geneva Conservatory. He taught solfege and harmony, and what he noticed was that students were good at writing solfege and harmony, but they were not hearing in a musical way or performing in a musical way. So he noticed that there's a lack of musicality. So he experimented for 25 years. What is going on? What is going on with my students? Why can't they can write on the paper, but why can't they express musically? And he found that it was due to lack of rhythm. So eurythmics is the core of Dalcroze method. So there are three interrelated aspects, which are eurythmics. Second is solfege and improvisation, but I think that eurythmics is at the heart of Dalcroze, and we can apply to general music right away because we use so many movements in our classroom. So OR, let's talk about all of the approaches. OR uses creative movement, and Kodai OR teachers do folk dance, they do locomotor space, and Gordon uses the movements to express music, and they use flow when they sing and chant. So there are unique aspects of eurythmics is that basic elements of music, whether it's phrase, dynamic, pitch, improvisation, any type of music elements, students hear it and they should be able to express it. And movement is so natural to children that they have been doing all along until they enter the classroom. But now they get to sit in front of the desk and they're limited as to how they move. But as music teachers, we have to kind of revive how we should move as musical beings. So eurythmics aims to develop children good rhythm. So Dalcroze saw three states of rhythm. Arrhythmy, lack of rhythm, I mean there's rhythm, but it's irregular. And eurythmy, there's rhythm, keeping constant beat, but it's not musical. And there's eurythmy, which is the rhythm is in flow, rhythm has dynamic, rhythm has just life. So Dalcroze is focusing on developing good rhythm in children. The Dalcroze teachers often use a piano to facilitate children's movement. Many music teachers, if you're not good at piano, you're a little bit hesitant to incorporate Dalcroze because you need to be skillful. You need to do improvisation at the piano, and then just talk to them while you teach. And usually Dalcroze-based music classroom, there are usually two teachers. One at the piano, the other one in the group guiding students. But we can't do that because we're just only one person. How many of you have a piano in the elementary classroom? Well, that's pretty a lot. Have you used them in the classroom? Sorry. Yeah, but using piano and giving direction is difficult. So we want to be very creative with it. So even if you can't play the piano and there's no piano, you can still do it with OR instruments, your voice, and the percussion instruments, just any type of musical prompts to use Dalcroze. So application, open space is a must. You want students to move and you want to have open space, which is very difficult during COVID situation right now because I see so many teachers teaching on a cart, which is not fun at all. But open space, and usually, I don't know, Dalcroze teachers use bare feet because you can just freely move. But with so many students, taking off their shoes and putting their shoes on could be a little bit difficult. So it's up to you how you want to manage and ask them to take their shoes off. Make the activity a game. Children love to play. So I'm going to share a few activities today, and they're all playful. Moving is playful itself. Music is playful. But make your voice musical so that it sounds playful. Use oral and visual commands and musical prompts in your instruction. What it means is that when I go observe student teacher, I say, perhaps you want to use less verbal direction. How many of you heard of that? Less verbal instruction, have them do more. When they do, they learn. Dalcroze, I've seen a teacher who didn't use a single word and they taught music for 20 minutes. And it's possible because music tells the children what to do, basically. So use oral, such as or boo, or more than simple oral command. They can pick it up and then engage them in music. Visual commands such as gesture, empowering empowering gesture. All of this, these are empowering gestures. They see and they can decode it. And use musical props, use organ, piano, upper register, down register, all of this. Use musical props to teach music. Because what you're